Hi, I'm Melanie Richard. I'm here at beautiful Zoo, Montana, and I'm going to show you how I do some of the work that I do for them. You can see a little bit of it behind me here on the wall. I'll show you around the zoo here, right around the area I'm working. Not very heavy at all, but nice and hard, really truly rock-like, and even to the touch. This is a habitat for a large snake, red-tailed boa constrictor, and the pond actually goes through the glass to the other side, all done with foam coat. The shelving, the trees are all made with foam coat and foam. This exhibit, same thing. We put up a shelf, we put foam on it, then we put foam coat over it. Just to show you how well foam coat holds things, these are actually real fossils. This is a dinosaur tooth row, dinosaur bone, and that was all put on when the foam coat was still damp, and it's embedded right in there, can't get it off. This is an over-under display where we've got actually a below ground habitat for this chinchilla, a stump that goes right through the wall to the next habitat for the next animal. This one is much more finished. You can see the rock shelves. Here's a branch up on the wall. That's the real branch. Now we transition with the foam and foam coat to the artificial branch. Very effective, and actually some people think it looks more real than the real branch. You can see it looks like a lot of high detail there. That's all done with sculpting, not with paint. Here's another example of embedding actual roots into foam coat. This is a quick way to show how architecture can be hidden. I've done a lot of work for a lot of different companies with foam, and I would always be cutting it with saws and knives, and it was very, very difficult. Very hard on my hands and my wrists, and it was sloppy. There was chunks of foam everywhere. So I got on the internet looking for a company that would help show me how to use some sort of a hot knife. I knew something like that existed, and I found several tools that I got at the Hot Wire Foam Factory website. Loved them. That was several years ago. I worked my way through a lot of sculptures since then with dinosaur museums and here. Then once I started working with that, then I needed to figure out something that I could cover it with, so that painting on foam is okay, but it's very temporary. The foam doesn't last very long, it doesn't take much abuse. So I got back on the website. I found the foam coat and I started using that. I used it much heavier than they recommended. They usually talk about painting it on, but that wasn't as effective for what I was going to use. So I started using it much thicker and developing my own way to put textures into it. So that actually took me from what I used to do at the zoo, which was making fabric on fabric trees that would be on the outside of the exhibits, to actually hard things that are on the inside of the exhibits. Really revolutionized what I was doing. Before, I was doing sculptures mainly for eye appeal on the outside for people, and this gave me the capacity to now develop things for the animals and the keepers at the zoo that the animals could move on, function with, completely revolutionized the kind of things that I was doing here. I've done them for the same thing for lots of different businesses, but Zoo Montana and the Dinosaur and Fossil Museum, Glendive Dinosaur and Fossil Museum, are the two that have most of my work. So you can see that it absolutely transformed what I was capable of doing for the zoo and for the museum, just with the small tools from Hot Wire Foam Factory, the hot knife and the hot bow and others, and the foam coat, which is, like you see behind me and beside me and everywhere, all around the zoo and all around the museum.
Show you guys.